Um, Thank you. For a while now, Wendy and I have been talking about what is it that we love about coaching. And by the way, if you want to grab your mute button, please do that since we were trying to mute all. Thanks for that, Wendy. I appreciate that. We were discussing what it is not only do we love about coaching, but we came up with some questions that what are questions that our clients have not asked us in a while, or maybe they say to us, hey, I've always wondered, how did this happen? And so we're going to try and answer that for you. And the objective of this is to put some eyes on us, see where our story might relate to yours. But here's the other thing. If you've got something to jot down, either a post-it note or a scrap piece of paper, if we're saying something where it could apply to a friend or a family member of yours on the coaching front, put that name down as a quick recollection for yourself, because that might be someone that may want to ask some questions of us too. So it may not necessarily be straight for you, but someone we think about. Just like if we think about, maybe this top would look good on someone or a restaurant recommendation, the same thing holds true here. Okay. So back in, let's see, I want to start with my story. So Wendy, if you could put up those three photos. I'm going to show you, oh boy, there she is on the far left side. I think a lot of people have seen that photo. I haven't said this to Wendy yet. That is a photo taken in December of 2016, just a couple weeks before I started Optavia's program. And when I see that photo, I reminds me of, I feel like Jabba the Hutt. And no offense to Star Wars fans by any means, but that's how I felt in that photo. I'm reading "'Twas the Night Before Christmas" at the end of my spinning class. I was teaching 3 spinning classes during a week. I was marathon training and taking 5 other workout classes. And you can see there that I wasn't really getting too far. And in 2017, when my husband and I started program, I lost 33 pounds in 13 weeks. Nice, easy pace. And the middle photo there reflects that 33-pound weight loss. That is actually a year after I lost my weight, almost a year. And between the time of starting program to the middle photo, I was asked a lot about, how did you do it? How are you doing this? We know you've struggled for many, many years. How are you doing it? And just in my own way, I love my coach so much. I just turned everybody over to Lori. I go, yeah, hang on a second. Let me put you in touch with my coach, Lori. That was just my reflex. And at one point, during 2017, Lori's like, hey, you would make a good coach. And I'm just, I'm doing all kinds of things. I'm working 60, 70 hours a week running my family's business. And I'm still trying to, get myself, healthy. And she's like, I'm coaching your friends and they're asking about you. Well, wouldn't you know, my friends were asking me, hey, is this good at the grocery store? And I just wasn't paying attention. I was just in the moment. I didn't understand I actually thought Lori was volunteering her time to coach me. Okay. Not thinking at all, clearly. Then we move along to 2018, and a guy named Barat at my family's business that I was running, he says, listen, you've kept your weight off. Can you help me? I said, sure, let me turn you over to my friend Lori. And he goes, no, no, no. I want you to help me. And then I just paused there for a second and I said, okay, let me get back to you on that. And I said, Lori, what do we do? And she says, just like when you were a client at the beginning, I'm going to guide you to the next step. I'm your mentor and you are apprenticing. And that's what the coach client model is, mentor apprentice. The coach model is mentor apprentice. And Lori helped me with the very limited amount of time that I had in my week, which was like 1 to 2 hours a week, helped me coach a couple people that year. And then we moved on. As 2020 went along, things changed for a lot of us. My business, I moved away from my business and I just said, you know what? This amazing community embraced me at one of the most critical junctures of my life and I'm still healthy. Let me see if I could put a little bit more time into this. And around 20, end of 2020, early 21 is when I gave it like 5 hours a week. And it grew from there. And that photo on the right was taken last week. I lost a few more pounds. I lost 23, 26 more pounds, excuse me, in 2023. And that's the result of being a product of the program and a product of the product, and also being a product of a coach. And that's my little story right now. But 2020 was a critical turning point for Wendy too, and she's going to share her story. Wendy, you want to jump in?
Yes, my video just shut off.
I see that.
There, is it back? Okay, good. Okay. Excellent. Okay. Well, I also, if I can get the screen to change here. This one on the left was me in 2020. And I came to this, I had just had my second son. I was the heaviest I'd ever been. I'd had a terrible pregnancy because I was not taking care of myself. And I basically called a friend, and it was one of those, whatever you're doing, I need to do that moments. And I actually had to wait to start because I wasn't far enough along after my son was born that I could go ahead and get started. And so I ended up losing almost 50 pounds over the summer of 2020, all of that while nursing. And I told him multiple times, I want nothing to do with coaching. I don't have time. I have two small children. I have a busy job. I travel. I was on maternity leave. I said, I'm not doing it. Um, but I actually shared my story on Facebook because I was just excited that I met my goal. And I'll never forget, it was on a Friday morning and the post just blew up and I was totally distracted for the whole rest of the day because I'm like, why are all these people reaching out to me? He told me, he said, you're going to inspire a lot of people. And I'm like, whatever. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't need anything to do with that. And he called me and he said, okay, so that just happened. So we started setting up phone calls with people. And a couple of my friends said, all right, I want to try this. And my coaches said, well, are you going to coach them? Or are we going to coach them? Or are you going to coach them with us? And I said, well, I've been really lacking a lot of purpose in my job. I've been trying to figure out what I'm going to do next. Um,
Hmm?
Maybe I'll just try this. And it was 2020, but it was also a time when we had moved. I did not, I had a job where I worked remotely. And so I didn't have an office I was going into, and I was very isolated. And I knew that I needed community, and I knew I needed to build my local community, but I also knew that was going to take a long time. So I told my husband, maybe this can fulfill the purpose that I'm missing in my job, and maybe it can also give me a way and a reason to keep in touch with people that I already know, to create that community that I'm missing and to give me just an excuse to talk to them because they were already friends and family that I had in my life. Um, they were just kind of spread out and I didn't really have reasons to talk to them. So that was the fall of 2020 and it kind of grew from there, which we'll share a little bit more about the additional parts of our story as we go. Um, but the great news is that we found a great home, and I'm love the community that I've continued to build. That started with just a few friends and family, and appreciate all the community that we built since then. So
Hmm.
we're going to jump into a few kind of frequently asked questions that we get when people are considering coaching, either because they are on their own journey and they're looking at it, or maybe it's somebody that is new to it and just wants to know a little bit more about it. So Peggy, first
Yeah.
question. How much time does coaching take?
Well, as I was mentioning, working 60, 70 hours a week and trying to squeeze in some time, I was really happy that my coach said, okay, if you've got an hour to 3 hours, we're going to make the most out of it. And we really did. And the truth was, even at that point, and I'm going to just equate to being a spinning instructor, it took me maybe 2 to 3 hours to create a spinning program for an hour class. I found that when people were asking me about how I got healthy, I started thinking more about it. And if I applied that time that I was thinking to my spinning classes to maybe helping other people and keeping myself accountable in a healthy fashion that I'd never done before, I guess I could slide that time over into my week. And that's exactly what I did between 18 and 2020. So if it can start between one and maybe an hour a week, maybe having 15 minutes a day, just being very consistent on a daily basis, just touching your business every day, your coach will work with you on that. That's how I would answer that question. How would you answer it?
Same way. I mean, I think that my experience has been that everything that everybody teaches us is a new coach we set the path and the new coach sets the pace. So,
Yep.
you tell us how much time you have or what your goals are, and then we'll tell you, what we think that's going to take to accomplish. And then we go from there and we're with you every step of the way.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Um, I love the next one. How do you learn how to be a coach? Well, how did you learn how to be healthy?
My
How
coach
did you?
helped me.
Yes. Your coach never leaves you. If you all are not familiar, your coach is your health coach for life. And that same coach and mentors above them, remember, we coach in teams. Um, and I know my mentors on here right now, a few of them, Karen, Michael, and Dennis. Wendy's a mentor of mine, as well as a few of other people that are here. We all help each other and we support Optavia's mission just like we would if we were coaching a client. We are all in for our clients as if you're a client, and we are all in for our coaches. The mission continues with the coaching team. And you're gonna hear that towards the end of this too. How would you answer that, Wendy?
Well, I would just say think about the way if you've been on plan, like you said, think about the way that your coach helped you. We have very simple systems and it's very much a mentorship model. And so, we're going to give you one step at a time. And if somebody's really fast and they want to go faster than that, great. We're going to give you one step after a step. Or if you just want to do a little bit at a time, we can do that too. But we're going to go at your pace and we're going to give you
Yeah.
one step at a time to do the next thing.
I would say this is the reason why, and I came in as an extremely impatient person. When my coach and my mentors were always very patient with where I was, that's when I knew I was actually learning and growing and developing as a person, as a coach. If I wasn't developing and growing, I would probably be not as good of a coach as I am today. And that goes to the mentor apprentice model.
So, Peggy, how do they find clients?
Has anyone been asking you how you look or what you're doing? I had a number of those, but I will say the first person I called in 2021 was a sorority sister of mine who I'd known since we were 18. And I sent her a text on a Monday and I said, listen, I've been holding out on you for a number of years. And I really did. I was holding out. I said, I apologize. I lost weight a few years ago and I was able to keep it off. And I know that's something that you've been wanting to do. If you have a moment to talk about it and are interested in knowing a little bit more, just say the word. And she goes, can we talk on Wednesday? And we did. And she lost 60 pounds and has kept it off for 4 years now. So that's how I think about the people that struggled. And I just asked them and it just grew from there.
Yeah.
How about you, Wendy?
I would say my initial clients came from that Facebook post because again, I
Mm-hmm.
had no intention of doing it. I just was excited that I reached my goal. But it was kind of like when I reached out to my coach, they were saying, "What are you doing?" Because I have to do that because there are definitely people out there who are looking. As it's grown, it's just been people that I've continued to have relationships with, build new relationships with, continue to connect with. We share what we're all about. We share what has worked for us, and then people show up, and it's nice to be able to help those people. We're just
Mm-hmm.
sharing and caring, and unfortunately, what is it? 70% of our country is overweight, and so chances
Yeah,
are it's something that's top of mind for people and something that we can help them with.
right. We're at an inflection point now in this country where we are at the greatest need for coaching. And when we get to the last question, we're going to share a little bit more about why Optavia is so vested in coaching because the model works. The model works for the long haul. Um, what if I'm not at my goal weight? Can I start to coach?
So
I wonder how many coaches start coaching before they hit their goal weight. Um, I guess you could say I was one of them by those three pictures, not even realizing. I mean, how about you? What would you say?
I would say that the thing that people love about our model is that they love to do this along with us.
Mm,
And they love to walk beside somebody who they can see themselves in. And chances are, especially at the beginning, your first clients are going to be your friends and family. And so they just want you to support them because this is something that you found that has worked for you. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be at your goal. And in fact, quite honestly, here I am 4 years later. And the people that I'm meeting now, they don't know me before. And so I have to tell them about my before because they only know me this way. And they're shocked when they see me in that, in that way. So people want to go on the journey with you. They don't expect, nobody expects perfection. It's just all about progress. And so if you're able to walk alongside somebody, they're going to feel a lot better about that because it feels a lot more attainable to them too.
Dr. Anderson, yeah, Dr. Anderson puts it, all you have to do is stay one fueling ahead, one day, maybe one small habit, one micro habit ahead of someone else to guide them to the next step. And again, that would be the coach, the coach client model and apprentice mentor model that works so well with one another. I give you an example. One of our coaches, Anne, I don't think she's here yet. She wanted to wait until she was reached her 100 pounds. But by the time she got to 60 pounds and her winter coat came off in about this time a few years ago, people were really noticing and they trusted her so much. One girl got upset and said, "Why have you held out on me? You could have helped me a few months ago when I was struggling." And Anne felt bad, but we took care of her emotionally and physically. And Christy's very, very happy with the results so far. But Anne was also more thrilled. She goes, "I'm glad I started when I was at my 60-pound weight loss and didn't wait till my goal," because she helped quite a few people along the way. So, Wendy, how much money can we make?
All right. Well,
This is one of your favorite topics.
dun dun dun. So we are going to show you. I don't know why these, there it goes. So right now, this has been going on for a couple of months. And what I think is really cool about this specific promotion that's happening is last fall I went to an event and the Optavia president shared that the reason that they started this, they're calling it the Impact Multiplier Bonus, is because they heard that so many people wrapped up their Christmas and went into January with thousands of dollars of debt from Christmas. And they said, wouldn't it be cool if we could help people with that? What is a way that we could help them with that? And like Peggy said, we need more health coaches because we need we need more people to reach more people. And so they started this bonus, and it originally just went through December. But now they've extended it a couple of times because it's working so well and because it's so wonderful to be able to bless new coaches in this way. So normally, for a new coach, when you bring on 3 clients in your first month, you make a bonus of $150, which is very nice. And that is on top of the commission that you can make from the orders of helping those 3 people. Right now, with this bonus, they have quadrupled that. So you can make $600 for helping those 3 people. Again, on top of the regular commission that you make. Now, if you're able to help 5 people, then normally you would make about $450. And right now they've increased that. Oh, I'm sorry, $250. Right now they've increased that to $1,000. And the cool thing is that this actually can go for 3 months. So if any of you are thinking about joining, now's the time to do it because all you have to do is help 3 people and you're able to make that additional $600 or 500 people, 5 people, and you can make the $1,000. Don't worry about all the numbers. The point is, you really don't have to, it's, a few people, and we're going to help you each step of the way, and you can make a really nice bonus right at this moment. So great question, Kelly. Right now means in the month of February or the month of March. And trust us, if you were saying, you know what, let's give it a try, I want to do this, we could absolutely help you. It is possible for a new coach to help 3 or 5 people even yet in the month of February, because chances are you have people around you who are looking for a solution and we can help you find them. So this is just what's happening right at this very moment. Just to give you a couple other points of reference as far as what the potential is here in terms of earnings. There's kind of 2 points that we like to tell people at the beginning because a lot of times what clients will tell us is, well, I don't know how much would be nice to make, but it would be good if I could pay for my own food. So normally what we tell them is if you're able to help 5 people a month, that's going to be enough to basically offset the cost of your own program if you're doing the 5-in-1 program. And then the other point that's kind of like the next reference point is if you are spending maybe 8 to 10 hours a week, you're helping somewhere between like 18 to 20 people, then you can make about $2,000 a month by supporting those clients. All of these things can, grow and change, and your mentor is going to help you with that. But those are just a couple points of reference to start with. And Peggy, tell them
Yes.
like a game show now.
Tell them.
Tell them why it's also a great time for clients to come on board right now.
An even better time for clients, we have a Spring into Health promotion where between Valentine's Day, which is 2 weeks ago or 2 days ago, and toward the end of March, any new clients or returning client, 180 days returning, has the gets special discounted offers. Meaning, if you're familiar with your Optavia credit, your rewards credit that you get on your next month order, well, Optavia is increasing that for the second month, and they're lowering the price of the initial box. Wendy, why don't you talk about what the pricing would look like? And it's a 30% credit. Am I correct on the second month?
Yeah, so basically, what I just tell people is it's a really nice savings for the first 2 months of your program. So we don't
Yes.
need to go into all of the details right now because there's also, as you guys know, hopefully there's a lot of different options for plans right now, which is amazing because depending on where people are, we have lots of different ways that we can help them. And there is a whole chart with lots of details about all the different discount layers that we don't need to go into right now. The point is, if you're able to jump in on board in February or March, you can help, 3 or 5 people. You're going to get a nice bonus by helping those people, but then they're also going to get some really great pricing by coming in at this time, which is awesome that they just announced this on Friday. So we're excited about that.
I have a feeling, and if this is something that you're considering as far as coaching or for someone else, something that would roll around in my head would be like, okay, if I become a coach now and someone else decides to be a coach with me, will they get those bonuses? And will I also benefit from that? Yes, and yes. It it extends out. Optavia is all in for coaches. This is the system that has marked the success for long-term health and transformation that we are not going to alter. It's that successful. This is why Wendy and I wanted to do this, have this type of conversation. If we didn't have coaches, she and I, we would not be here talking to you today. We would not. If it wasn't for the coaching model and if it wasn't for the support, what if someone doesn't have a weight loss story? Can they still coach? Oh, good one. We have had a few of those stories, haven't we? I think Michael's on right now. Yes, absolutely. People come in for a lot of reasons. They want to pay it forward. They want to make sure that their family is healthy. I have a coach that didn't have a weight loss story, but she wanted her husband to get healthy, and she is a very health-minded person. And she and I helped her husband lose 60 pounds. So Nilda Gonzalez was a coach without a weight loss story, but she felt so strongly about health in her family that she wound up helping a lot of people get healthy. Have you had that experience too, Wendy?
Yeah, absolutely. And, the great thing is that we have lots of stories out there that somebody can share if they don't have their own. And, people just want to know that somebody they know and trust has found something that they know and trust. And so it's okay. And there's a lot of ways that, again, we also have products for a lot of different options and a lot of different types of plans now. And so you can absolutely, have a story even if you're not necessarily needing to lose weight.
People come into this to also improve their current physical condition or mental condition. Remember, Optavia is coaching the entire person. So I was asked the other day at a meeting, what is it that you do? And my answer was, I'm a transformational health and business coach. And what that means is people come to me for weight loss sometimes, but they leave with a lifetime of personal development. And I had someone come up to me and ask, well, I don't have a weight loss story, but tell me more about the personal development side. And she says, you look very physically fit. I said, I'm optimizing my health right now. And we talked about putting on some muscle. And we're going to have she and I are going to have a conversation on Thursday about how to optimize her existing health without a weight loss story and also work on her mindset and personal development. So I love that.
What do they always
Yeah.
say, that we're really a personal development company with the weight loss side effect? So that
Yep,
that we come for the weight loss, but stay for the mindset work and the personal development and the community
absolutely.
that comes along with it. So
Was there another question that flashed up?
no, Michael just shared in about his story about his transformation.
Suni Kelly's question was, what do you mean by right now? Wendy answered that you can sign up for coaching within the month of February and um, access the promo. Suni, was that the answer you needed? I hope that was. Um, what else would be lingering out there that we haven't answered? Was there anything that we didn't answer to the fullest? Needs some clarity on? I will say this. Coaching has made me a better human being. And I'm going to look at the other human being over here. Has coaching made me a better human being?
Yes.
That's from a guy I've been married to for almost 25 years. How has coaching impacted you, Wendy?
Well, so I'll tell you this. I thought I just needed to lose some weight. And so I wanted nothing to do with my life book. They kept telling me, you need to read this. I said, you're crazy. I have a 2-month-old baby and a child at home on maternity leave, and it's 2020 and my mother-in-law's here. But I finally, after 6 weeks, I said, okay, fine, I'm going to read this life book. And I did the self-assessment and I was in tears. And I said to my coach, okay, I guess I maybe need to talk about this because there's a lot more that I maybe need to work on here than what I really understood at all. Because I thought I was just starting a
Mhm.
diet and just thought I needed to lose some weight. So, in that time, I can't even tell you the transformation that I've gone through personally. It has led to me, I know, as a better wife and a better mom, and everything else that has come along with that, and just a huge life transformation for me personally. And what's so fun as a coach is, yes, you're helping somebody else experience that transformation, but it's so rewarding when you see that. Like every time that one of my clients sends me a message and says, I was a better mom today because I'm taking better care of myself, that just like really touches my heart and makes me feel so much better about the way that I'm, helping them. So,
When you're physically, we talk about the Trinity, healthy body, healthy mind, healthy finances. I hope we covered all three because as Michael said, you're so grateful to be in this community. Wendy's echoed that too. I ran back to this community wholeheartedly in 2020, and it was exactly what I needed. It was the sorority, the running community, some work groups that all melded into one that helped build the person that I am now. And when we say this is a transformative process, we really mean it. And as a client, if you're watching, you're seeing part of you transform. But what you get in return for helping other people, and they in turn want you to do well, it's priceless. This is a priceless commodity we have in our hands, and Optavia stands by us 1000%. I'm not sure if you can get that anywhere else in a corporate setting. I know I have not experienced that necessarily in a corporate setting. I know Wendy would probably say the same thing. But when you're backed by mentorship and you're backed by a corporation that absolutely wants you to succeed and your clients to succeed, um, you can really offer some predictable success there. I don't know how else to wrap it up. What would you say, Wendy?
well, I just want to answer Liz's question real quick, and then maybe we'll wrap to kind of keep this to 30
Yep.
minutes for everybody. So Liz asked what other training opportunities are offered as being a coach. What I would just say is, if you are an integrated client who is plugged into win calls or Monday night calls, you're seeing some snippets of the wider community that was within the coach community. But when you really get in there, and if you say, hey, I'm going to raise my hand and I really want to grow and I want to do all these things, the amount of training and resources that we can plug you into is amazing. I mean,
Mhm.
people on this call have literally paid, myself included, thousands of dollars to work with some of the mentors within this organization who we get to now have access to for free. So we will not fire hose you. We will not overwhelm you. We will not make you do all those things unless you say that you want to. We will give you one step at a time. But when you're ready and if you're ready, the resources are just really unbelievable. And the fact that we get all of this for free is really amazing. Because I know that there's lots of people that would pay a lot of money to have access to the community and the coaches and the mentorship that we have. So
That's a
awesome. Well,
great
I think we
question.
should wrap this, Peggy. And if anybody has more questions, ask the person that invited you here. Thank you so much for spending a little bit of your Sunday evening with us. And we're excited to see some of you join our team very soon.
Absolutely. Thanks, Wendy. Thanks, everyone. We appreciate your time.
Bye-bye.
Have a nice evening. Bye-bye.